Alright, we're back. Now, I sent Deadpool over there. I thought he was going to do a more professional job interviewing his creator. But, as always, he was just more interested in making a fool out of himself. And he probably didn't read the notes that I gave him. He was too busy probably eating chimichangas and cooking a whole bunch of pancakes. So, anywho, we're back and we're going to talk about the weekly. But before we talk about the weekly, I've been watching a lot of reviews on YouTube, and a lot of people are crying about Superior Spider-Man and what they done with Spider-Man, and I don't know what the hubbub is. Everyone's like, really? Why we gotta kill up Peter Parker? And I'm like, come on, get over it. Okay, in case you didn't, catch what I was talking about in the first episode, basically, Amazing Spider-Man 700, in 699, Dr. Ock is dying of cancer, and he's on his deathbed, and he asks to see Peter Parker, and Peter Parker comes in with his suit. He's like, yeah, you got me, I'm Peter Parker, I'm Spider-Man, yada yada yada. What do you want to talk about before you die, Dr. Ock? And Dr. Ock, tricks him, and he has this device that downloads everything about Peter Parker, his memories, and basically he does a body swap. And so he switches bodies with Peter Parker. And then 700 is Peter Parker as Dr. Ock trying to switch his body back before he dies. And, gets Scorpion. He gets Scorpion and Hydro, and he gets members of the Sinister Six to help break him out. And he almost just switches the body. He downloads everything about Dr. Ock, but right before he can pull the switch off, he dies as Dr. Ock. And Dr. Ock gets all Peter Parker's memories, and he swears he swears before Peter dies that he's going to be a superhero, but he's going to be Superior Spider-Man. Now, I don't know what everyone's crying about, because this is a really good story. There's been tons of body swapping stories, like Freaky Friday, or the 80s comedy, Like Father Like Son, where some artifact causes them to do the whole switcheroo. And every time they do this, or when they do this in a cartoon or something, they always end up switching back. Sometimes the guy's like, oh, I have fun being you, I don't want to switch back. But they switch back anyways. And this is the first time that one of the bodies die out, and the guy, and the villain ends up being the superhero. And he does a good job of being Superior Spider-Man. He makes all these robots to patrol the city, so he doesn't have to go check up on every ambulance or siren that goes off. And he does really good. He's more darker, and he ended up killing a guy who ended up having to be being taken care of anyways. And he has to gain back the trust of the Avengers after that happened. But it's a really good story, and I just don't understand what everyone's crying about. We all know Peter Parker will eventually be back, but instead of killing the whole superhero, because they always got the death of Batman, death of Superman, and they just overplayed that whole idea. This is a brand new idea, and everyone just needs to get over it. And all the stories that they're doing with Superior Spider-Man are really good, and you should just go check them out and at least give them a try. Don't knock it before you try it, is what I'm trying to say. So, after I got that chip off my shoulder, let's go over the weeklies. Alright, we're going to start off with my favorite, Deadpool. This is the third part of Good, Bad, and Ugly. Now, I told you kind of what's going on, but basically, the gist of it, the very first part, Deadpool realizes Weapon X, which is a big secret weapon organization who's trying to, make people into weapons. Like, they did the experiment with Wolverine and gave him the anti-metal, and that's where Wolverine got his claws. And Deadpool was given the healing factor that came from Wolverine, but they wanted him to stay and do experiments. So just like Wolverine, he escaped Weapon X, but now he knows that they're trying to get him again. And he tries warning Captain America and Wolverine. Turns out that they get captured. Well, they all get captured all around at the same time. Deadpool, he gets captured. He's trying to take a nap. And he also finds out once he wakes up and he breaks out of the tube that they're doing experiments with his regeneration and his organs, or his organs, and cloning superheroes that already died, like Nightcrawler. They're just trying to clone and make new superheroes out of Deadpool's organs. And this one is pretty good. It's when he frees Captain America and Wolverine, and how they manage to try to escape Weapon X camp. I guess it's like a camp. It's basically like a Holocaust campground, and it's about them trying to escape. And in the Wolverine series, he ends up losing his healing factor, and of course Weapon X don't know this. And there's a part in here I liked, because Deadpool's like, "Whoa, what's up with your boo-boo?" He's like, "I lost my healing factor." It's a long story. And Deadpool puts a Hello Kitty Band-Aid on Wolverine's boo-boo, and I thought that was a nice touch to it. But yeah, check this out. It's a really good read so far. There's 2 more parts, and I really recommend it. Now, back to our DC villain covers. First one is Batman / Superman. This is Doomsday on the cover. And Doomsday, if you don't know who Doomsday, he's the guy who killed Superman back in the early 90s. Superman, I guess we're not talking about Superman, we're talking about Doomsday, right. Doomsday, basically, he came also from Krypton. He was created, talks about how Zod created him. Because remember I told you about Zod was creating his own monsters and didn't want to destroy them? This is one of his creations, Doomsday. And Doomsday, he's really hard to kill. And even if you do kill him, what you use to kill him, he adapts to. Let's say I stab him with the death ray, and he regenerates. And after that, he's going to be immune from the death ray, and you're not going to be able to kill him with the death ray. And this is just about him escaping Krypton, the planet Krypton, and his a little origin that we didn't know about. It's pretty good. It's alright. Now, here we go. Here's Gotham City's very own freak show, Killer Croc. Yeah! Now, this is not one of the other villains that didn't make it in the movies yet, so of course you probably don't know who he is unless you read the comics. Killer Croc, like I said, was born with lizard scales and just doesn't like everything, and he's basically born a freak. And later on, finds out when that he can regenerate. But every time he regenerates, I just killed Venom right there. Every time he regenerates, he looks more and more like Crocodile. Basically, right now, he's a walking, talking crocodile. He lives in the sewers. And this book right here is when Secret Society starting to take over DC Universe, and he gets revenge on these two crooked cops who shot this innocent man, and he gets his revenge for that guy. It's a really good story, a little bloody, but what can you expect from a killer crocodile? Now, this next one is Batman, and with his Bane over the title. Bane, as you know, is the latest Batman movie with Bane, Catwoman, and Ra's al Ghul, who we talked about last week. Ra's al Ghul's daughter. And this is about... This is one I like. I like the one that I did in the movies was cool and everything, but this is the one I really like because he can, make himself stronger and stronger and stronger, as strong as he wants. And this is about Bane breaking out a whole bunch of criminals out of prison and starting his own part of the secret society, and telling if you're going to be part of his gang that they're not going to use guns, because he takes somebody's gun and he breaks it in half, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, go get this one. This is another 3D cover. I like it, but not everyone wants to spend an extra dollar on a 3D cover. Now this is Man-Bat. Man-Bat, he's kind of, he ain't my favorite Batman supervillain. I guess he's my least favorite Batman supervillain. Basically, we all remember what happened in Amazing Spider-Man was the Lizard. This is the same idea, but this guy's so fascinated with bats. The guy in Amazing Spider-Man, he had a reason to turn himself into a lizard, and so he can figure out how to grow his arm back, and he wants to grow his arm back. This guy, he's just so fascinated with bats, he finds a way to make himself into a werebat that turns into a bat at night. And he knows Batman's gone. This also takes place right now when Secret Society's trying to take over. And he knows Batman's gone. And he wants to try to do good. But he can't do good because he's a crazy ass bat. So, this is him trying to work on the serum so he can have more control of the bat and do good. And not just kill somebody just because they jaywalked or something. Now this one had me kind of confused. This is Justice League with Secret Society over it, and before the whole Joker returns, there's the whole Batman did battle with this guy named the Owl. And at the very end, you find out that the Owl is Bruce Wayne's long-lost brother that we didn't know about. And it's this big talk about him taking over Secret Society, and it's actually kind of confusing. It's okay to read, but if they let you read it at the comic store, go ahead and just do that. I mean, it's basically them regrouping as a group, and the new who's going to be the new on Justice League, which he's going to take over for Batman. Alright. This is the last one this week. This is the Black Adam. Black Adam is basically, if you guys don't know who Zest Man is, it's basically this kid finds this ring and it turns him into a superhero. Now this is the bad guy version of that guy, Black Adam. And it's just him overcoming his last, overcoming his rights, being a supervillain, and he's regaining his throne and his rights of Black Adam. And it's okay too. My favorite one this week probably had to be The Kill Croc. This is a really good read, like I said. Alright. That's all the time we got for this week. Next week, I want to go over the Punisher Max series. Here, Laura, she talks about it in the interview that she read it, and we're going to talk about all the Max series. Oh, by the way, Facebook, Laura said she also liked the Nemesis series, which is a spin-off of the Kick-Ass. From what I understand, it's like I think it's the bad guys version of Kick-Ass. Anywho, we have more about that on next week. And till next time, this is Kuhl's Comic Book Basement. I'm Jason Kuhl, and that's what's up.